as well in app routing module. So page. So let's get rid of these hrefs and add here Similarly for password, what I can say ng model login data dot password. Now I want to register a method for this click button so that I can invoke the logic for the login. So for that, first I going to create a method in login component like user login. Okay, this is my method. For now, what I'm going to do, just I will console the login data object. Okay, console log. I will register this method to my button click event. So register click and okay. Since we are using ng module, right? We need to import form module into our module. What is our module? Our module is login module. So let's import Angular form module. Forms form module. Let's import it into modules and let's check our output. See, now I have a login form. Let me enter some anything since I haven't implemented any validations, right? So let's check it. Console. Login data is not defined. Okay. So here some spelling typo mistake. No, this dot. Okay, let's try again. If ng module is used with form tag, either name attribute must be set or the form control must be standalone in the ng option. Okay, I need to assign some HTML name attributes. I can name like username and one name attribute like code. Okay, let's do it again. Let's test. Okay, now we are able to console our user logged in data. Okay, and up to now we have set up basic form and it's invoking the login method. Now we need to go for the JWT authentication. Before going to JWT authentication, what we need a endpoint where we can post our data to the server, right? So that on successful validation of user credentials, that same endpoint will return us access token and refresh token. Now we need to set up a server project like either Java or .NET or Node or Nest.js, any JWT implemented server project. So instead of deviating completely into another project, I want to do almost all the JWT workflow process without deviating from this Angular project. What I want to do here is I will take a one access token that is build up of JWT rules so that I can use that access token, okay, in our application as a constant variable, okay. Instead of calling the JWT for our understanding purpose, I am doing this, okay. Real time we should never do like this, okay. What I will do, I will assign a constant variable like JWT token and I will do all the workflow of our login. Once we have successfully implemented almost some 80% of our logic, then what I will do, I replace that constant value with the original JWT endpoint, so that we will have a clear idea what we will do. So for that, I will go to my blog. I have mentioned some fake constant variable. So this is the constant variable. If you want, you can copy from here, from my blog. So I'm going to copy from here. So before copying this, we need to have a service, right? Because whether in the latter step, anyway, we are going to use the JWT API, right? So to do all the user authentication logics like storing, saving, all kind of things, for that we are going to create one service called auth service. Since this service need to be loaded to entire our application because it is related to authentication, right? What I will do, I am going to create it in the shared folder. For that, what I will do, I will create a shared. Okay, inside of it, I am going to create services. Inside of that, I'm going to create a file like auth.service.ps. Okay, this is our service file. Here I am going to implement my logic. So let's first create a skeleton for our service file. Export auth service class auth service. Okay, since it is a service, right, need to be decorated with the injectable so that it can be injected anywhere of our application. For that, I need to import a decorator injectable. Okay, in this auth service, I am going to create a variable of type behavior subject. So this behavior subject of variable will be registered in every component inside of our application to fetch or to listen for the user information. Okay, like I will name as user info of type behavior subject. It loads from the RxJS. It is an observable. Okay, I will for now, for demo purpose, I will mention it as any, and initially I will give null value to it. Okay, so this is my variable where I can use this variable in all other components to retrieve the user information. Okay, next thing we need to do, we need to create a method for user login. Okay, I said right, currently we don't use API call. So for now we are going to mock our JWT access token. So let create access token, and I will copy from my blog. Okay, is that correct? Yes. This is my JWT token, and I am going to mock the access token also. Sorry, refresh token. Let's say dummy, because refresh token functionality will be directly used from will be implemented after integrating the API only. So for now, you can use any dummy character, right? Let's think like we have called our API and we got access token and refresh token. Okay. Next, first step, what we have to do means we need to store our access token and refresh token into the local store browser because we need to save it right somewhere. Generally, tokens will be saved into the local storage, so that when the user reopens or closes and opens the application, uh, the state of user will not be changed because we will fetch from the local store browser. Okay, further, so let's save our access token, refresh token, access token, and refresh token into our local storage by using the local storage and set item. So my key to store access token is access hyphen underscore token, and I'm going to pass my access token here. And next thing is local storage dot set item. Here I am going to store the refresh token. Okay, so that's it. Second step is done. What is my first step? Fetching the access token data. Second step is for persistent store, we need to save it in the local storage. Okay. Now to make them available to our entire application, we need to save this value to my user info object, so that my application will access them. Okay. For that, what I will do, I will do, I will create data, const data, and like access token. Okay. Access token, I am going to assign refresh token. Refresh token, I am going to assign. Okay, this is my data. I am going to save it in the user info. Since it is a user info is observable, right? To push the data into it, we need to use next method. So by hitting this line, wherever we will subscribe this user info in entire our application, there all those components will get the fresh data whenever it is updated. So that is the benefit of using the observable. Observable nothing but those will observe when will the data will when will data will be delivered to them. Okay, but this is very limited data. There is nothing data that related to user, like his name or something like his ID or any further more information we don't have here, right? Okay, so what we have to do in that case, either we need to call a one API if our API to fetch the all user information, or else we can decrypt this JWT access token. Actually, JWT access token is a encrypted string which contains user information and user claims as well. So for to get minimum basic information about user, we can use this JWT token data only by decrypting it. For decrypting, there are a lot of different libraries. So here I am using one such library like, let me go here. One such library is like Auth0 Angular JWT. This library will help us to decrypt our JWT access token. So let me copy this. Okay. Go to our Visual Studio Code and install it. Then another terminal. Let me install it. So the plugin has been installed. To use it, let's import it. Import from @auth0 JWT, and it is like JWT helper service. Okay, let's create a object for helper service. JWT helper equal to new JWT helper service. Okay, now what I will do here, I am going to constant decrypted user equal to JWT helper dot decode token method. So here we need to pass our access token. Okay. Now what I will do to know the properties that we are going to get from this decrypted user, I am going to console log it. Okay, for now. Okay, decrypt user. The decrypt user. Okay. So we are going to console log the decrypted user. Then what I will do, I am going to use this method into my login component so that we can see what is the output here. But before doing that, we need to register our auth service into app module because it should be available for everything, right? So I am going to register it in the app module. So from, okay, shared service, auth service, okay. What I am going to do in the providers, I am going to provide auth service, okay. Now I am going to inject into my login component of TS file. Okay, let's import here. Import from, okay, shared service auth module, auth service, constructor, private, auth service, auth service. Here I am going to call my user login auth service method. This dot auth service dot uh, user login. Okay. Okay. Now I can see the decoded properties of my JWT token. Okay. Let's reload it. Type something. So typing also we can test, but type something and check it in the console. See, this is here you can see another object like username test sub nothing but user ID expiration. This is the token expiration in millisecond. This object is printing from my auth service. Where is my auth service? This line of code is printing. Okay. So from this, we can grab the properties that are required to maintain in our application as the user information. What I can grab expiration time, I can grab user ID, I can grab username. So let's grab them and create it inside of this object so that user info will have all those properties. So username, like decrypted user. Okay. Next one, I can assign. What is another property? Sub. Sub is nothing but user ID. I can name it as user ID. Okay. Decrypted user dot sub. Token expiration that will comes from exp. In few endpoints, expiration date will come as another property from the API itself. Means JWT authentication API returns refresh token, access token, expiration date as well explicitly. Here it is coming as a one of the user claim. Okay, this is the data I am going to store it in the user info. Okay, what I will do here, I want this method is to receive the user information, right? Like user payload means nothing but username and password. For now, what I will do console.log here user payload. When we replace with real-time JWT endpoint, this payload will be used as our post data. So in login component, what I will do, component CS, let's remove here console and login data. Okay, here I will return alert message like user logged in successfully. Okay, now just reload and enter something, and here enter something and hit. See, I am able to show user is logged in successfully. I want to show one more thing, like now we are able to save our fake access token and refresh token into our local browser store. See, my access token and my refresh token expiration as well. Am I saving this expiration? No, but from where it is coming? Okay, okay. See, here is my access token and refresh token. So if you close application also, they will stay in the local storage only. When we open our application, they still lives under our local browser store, local storage, browser local storage. So this video I'm stopping here because video becomes so lengthy. In the next video, what I'm going to explain is I am going to explain like now we have token, right? I'm going to create another page module like this home page and login only, another page like dashboard page where I can only show that page when the user is logged in. On that page, I am going to show some user information, logged in user information by fetching from this variable, okay, into the dashboard page. And later I will replace this fake access token with a real JWT endpoint using some server, okay. Replace this JWT token, and then next I'm going to implement the routing auth guards. How to restrict the user from the routing means, if you see here, I am still able to login page, right? Because either it is mocked data or not, I have login information where it is application. Still I am having login information in local storage. At that time, we should not show login form, right? We should not show this page. Either it should be navigated to some other like dashboard we want to create. So like that, to guard our routes, we need to write Angular routing guards. That concept also will be explained in the next video. Okay. So that's it about the introduction for this JWT token implementation in Angular application. If you like my video, please do subscribe to my channel. We will meet you again with new videos. Until then, signing off.